How is it possible for rents to be declining in a suburb that's only about 30 minutes away from New York City? Well, on today's walking tour, we're going to be talking about exactly that. We are in New Rochelle, New York, just about 30 minutes outside of Midtown Manhattan Grand Central Terminal. We're currently standing at the Metro North train station. You pop on right here, and you're in Grand Central, Midtown Manhattan, in less than 30 minutes. Now, New Rochelle's median rent actually declined about 3% from 2020 to 2024, while the median rent nationally was surging at a double-digit rate. For some context here, if you want to move to New Rochelle, studios can be had for around $1,800 depending on the building. You can get a really nice one-bedroom apartment for maybe $2,800 starting, with some very, very luxurious three-bedroom apartments going all the way up to around $7,000. If you're thinking about the comps in Manhattan, if you wanted a comparable product, a studio, a one-bedroom to a three-bedroom in a luxury building with all the amenities such as a swimming pool, a gym, sauna, all types of different pet facilities, outdoor facilities including barbecue grills and outdoor hangout spaces, you're probably looking at a multiple of that, if not a significant multiple of that. I would say for a one bedroom, you're probably looking at $7,000 to $8,000. Maybe on the low end in a lesser desirable neighborhood in Manhattan, one bedroom with all of those amenities, maybe $5,000. So what exactly has New Rochelle done in order to bring down these rents? Well, quite simply, they've been very developer friendly. New Rochelle didn't really used to be like this. If you look over to the left, this is what New Rochelle used to be. A lot of low-rise buildings, even pre-war buildings, and not a lot of high density. But now if you look at the skyline of New Rochelle, you see a ton of high-rise rental apartment buildings going up all over this suburb. What you're looking at right here is the Trump Tower in New Rochelle, which is one of the first, I would say, luxury buildings to start to be developed here. But as we walk through the town, you're literally going to see a building boom on every single street corner with, different variability. You're going to see brand new product going up. And along with that new product, you have more investment in the community. New restaurants are moving in, new coffee shops are moving in, and you're really starting to see a different change in demographic. I've been noticing a lot of young families that are moving from places like the 5 boroughs, even, Manhattan, from the Upper East Side, the Upper West Side, deciding to move here because if you're a young family and you want to maybe have 2 or 3 kids, well, that's going to explode your rent to probably over $10,000 a month in Manhattan. But here you'll be able to probably keep that right around $5,000 if you're going to have a family of 5. Now we're coming up on Huguenot Street, and this is another example of a building that just went up. I don't even think they're ready for occupancy just yet, but right across the street from the post office is yet another luxury rental apartment building with studios, 1 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms. There was an interesting Wall Street Journal article that I'll link in the description, but it says New Rochelle has completed more than 4,500 new housing units over the past decade, with 6,500 units either expected or in the pipeline through 2030. Those 11,000 new units would represent a 37% increase in the number of New Rochelle apartments compared with just 10 years ago. So if you think about that, simple policies from the local government, particularly starting with the mayor of New Rochelle, she's really done a good job with incentivizing developers with different tax breaks and things like that, streamlining your processes to get approval to build all of these units. And what do you know? We automatically get more supply on the market, which naturally brings down prices for everybody. This is looking southbound, and you could see 1 new building, 2 new building, 3 new building, 4 new building, 5 new buildings just all along Huguenot Street, right on the corner of Bridge Street, right by the train station. We'll go quick check out this one. I don't even know what this is called. I believe it says the Allen, maybe? And if you look on the side, you can see some of the renderings of the amenities. Let me step off to the side here. It says liveallen.com, lease today. It looks like they have a swimming pool on the roof, a gym facility, and an outdoor barbecue space on the roof, which is pretty incredible. You also have parking. Now, I'm from Long Island, and I'm used to having about an hour commute on the Long Island Railroad. If you compare that with commuting from New Rochelle or even Larchmont, which is one of my favorite towns in Westchester County, it's only about a 35-minute commute into Midtown Manhattan. The current population of New Rochelle is about 85,000 people, but that's expected to grow as all of these new apartments come on the market. So as we continue on our walk, like if you see across the street, these are the buildings. This is what the whole city used to look like. But I believe developers will probably continue to buy up everything. Like this is Stella. This just went up 2 years ago. And in all of the retail storefronts of those rental apartment buildings, you have brand new coffee shops, brand new restaurants, like good Thai restaurants that are starting to move into the community here. You have a lot of new drugstores here, CVS. There's a brand new boba place that just came in. This is Anderson Street. Now, the last time I was here was about a year ago. I wanted to cover New Rochelle because I saw that Wall Street Journal article. And just since the year that I filmed the video, I'm noticing so many different changes just from about 12 months ago. This plaza here by the Key Bank with the Applebee's is completely redone, all new concrete. We'll wait to cross the street. And look at this. All the way at the end of the block, which I believe is Main Street, it appears there's yet another apartment being built. This is all public space here. All brand new concrete. It looks like there's a movie theater and Applebee's. A Key Bank. And even further in the distance now, there's another rental high-rise. I think that one is called One Clinton. And looking back, you see the others. Now, I'll read a little bit more of the article. It says, New Rochelle median rents are only 1.6% higher than in 2020, well below the 25% or higher increases in New York City and outer markets like New Jersey's Newark, Hoboken, and Jersey City, which is totally true because I'm in the New York City real estate business, and many of our clients that are landlords in Manhattan were able to raise their rents about 40% since 2021 with ease, and they have more than enough demand for those apartments. So unfortunately, a lot of people are getting squeezed living in Manhattan, and I've noticed that the quality of the product in Manhattan, if you're going to pay under $4,000 a month, is deteriorating rapidly. And I'm not saying that to be negative, but chances are, from my experience, if you're renting an apartment on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and your cumulative rent, or I should say the monthly rent, is under $4,000, the quality of that product is not going to be up to the standards that you see here in these buildings. The heat's probably going to go out. You're going to have problems with pests in many cases. It's just the way it is at that price point in Manhattan. You really got to break over $5,000 a month in Manhattan to be able to live in a building with really good property management and no pests. In most cases. So this is now right outside of that apartment complex, Stella. And here's the main entrance for the garage. I was looking at many of the websites of these new buildings, and if you want to park your car in the garage on site, it's roughly about $150 to $250 a month to do that, which is essentially like parking for free. Because if you want to park a car in Manhattan, it's going to be over $600 a month to park in Manhattan. So let's say if you're a single guy or a single girl, you rent a studio for $2,000 here, you have a swimming pool, you have a gym, you have a sauna, all these different amenities, and you could have a car in Westchester County, park it for $200 a month, and drive really wherever you want. Looks like this is a new teriyaki place, and this is a little coffee shop inside of the building. So you can see here Stella leasing one bedrooms. And in many of the lobbies, they'll have these cafes, which are really nice. So this is actually an apartment building, but there's a coffee shop inside your apartment. Seating areas. And that's kind of the main coffee bar where you can order. And this is quite literally in every single new apartment building that's gone up. That's the leasing office. This is now the corner of Main Street. I was doing a little bit of research into this corner lot over here. You can see how it kind of has this, ratty kind of tenement house that's all blown out. I believe a developer has purchased this plot of land here, and there's going to be yet another high-rise rental apartment building right on the corner of Main Street, as you can see here. So more inventory coming on the market. If we were to continue to walk, I would say up Main Street, this is headed northbound, you would walk right into the town of Larchmont, New York. It's about a few miles up the road, but that's a really, really nice community up there, Larchmont, of single-family homes. And here's looking at Stella and that brand new apartment complex that they're building right next to the Stella. You also have a college campus here called Monroe College, Monroe University. If you're curious about the development process in New Rochelle, the government structured it in a way that community pushback, so for example, there's always going to be community activists that don't want all of this building anywhere you go, right? They're going to be complaining about how, you're pushing people out of the community or disrupting us with all this construction noise. But here in New Rochelle, the community pushback doesn't cause the same delays that are common in other cities. If a residential project meets certain criteria, New Rochelle officials assure it will get approved in just 90 days. So it's about a 3-month approval project, or a 3-month approval process for developers to come in, propose all of their plans for the development, and start breaking ground. That's unheard of. I don't know how many units this is exactly going to be, but I would guess it's probably going to be over 80 new units coming on the market. This should drive rents even lower. This is now Main Street and North Avenue. You can see some of the signs for the train station here. Now, the next development that we're going to head to is called 1 Clinton. It's a 28-story luxury tower. RXR is the firm. Opened it in 2022, and 92% of the units are occupied. The property developer has already invested about $1 billion in the New Rochelle. Again, with all of this new building, I wouldn't be surprised to see Main Street here totally change over the coming years. You could see some of the older retail, the older strip malls, but my prediction is that everything is going to start to look like this. Newer developments, higher urban density, all over the city. And more modernist storefront too.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you.
It's still a nice town on Main Street. It's just a little bit older. You have some shops. I was looking around this store earlier. This has all fresh produce at extremely low prices here.
Okay, y'all, I'm mad at y'all. All right, bye.
This is now the corner of Lawton Street. This Mexican restaurant on the corner is very, very good. And a little bit further down is a fantastic Thai food restaurant called Atit. A-T-I-T? Let me see. Let me pull it up on Google Maps. But there you can see like the old and then the new in the background. It's quite the juxtaposition. So here I've eaten a few times. Highly rated Thai food restaurant right here in New Rochelle. Now this is another brand new building. I'm just not too sure what the apartment is called. I'll try to get on the other side of the street so the sun isn't in our face here. But outside of all the new developments, you can see the sidewalks are all brand new. This is the corner of Main Street and Memorial Highway. And you guessed it, yet another brand new development. I don't even think anybody's in this one right now. And you can see the Wingstop. It says it's coming soon. Now the development that we're going to check out now is called One Clinton.
Hey man, would you like to worship Jesus bless on Sunday? Yes. I saw him do.
And One Clinton's going to be just off to the right. I'll see if I can get a name for this one. This one's called The Leaf. Huge garages, by the way. Yeah, so this is the leasing office at the Lease, or at the Leaf, 12 Church Street. And you can see some of the renderings. I mean, really nice, brand new product.
What?
So it says The Leaf is a luxury 26-story apartment building in downtown New Rochelle, New York, offering studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units with modern amenities like in-unit washer dryers, smart keyless entry, and stainless steel appliances. It features a swimming pool, a fitness center, courtyard, and sky lounge.
No, it's not, because if you don't get it done, you're not going to practice. You know that.
This is Clinton Place. But again, as you can see, look at how much the neighborhood has changed. So you see all this low rise, and then the new developments coming up. So I'll remember this. So this brand new one that just went up is called The Leaf. 26 stories, luxury place. And this one is 1 Clinton Park. This building right here. And this building is 2 Clinton. Okay, we have the light. We'll cross. It looks like a lot of this retail space here is still vacant, so you can see some of the renderings here. But it looks like a lot of the apartments here have water views. This is the Long Island Sound, so if we were to continue to walk down this road, it'll bring us right to the water. So depending on where you are, you're quite literally looking at the North Shore of Long Island, New York. We'll now make a left and check out the Clinton development. But now that we have a better view, one more look at the Leaf. And all really nice infrastructure. Brand new sidewalks. Here's the entrance to the leasing office. Really nice. You can see the amenity floor here. It says flexibility, co-working space, and a library. All by RXR. Anything else down here? Let's see. No, this just looks like the kind of the main facade and the parking entrance. But overall, I'm really impressed with this. It's as if they're building an entirely brand new city. Let's go ahead and make this left. If we were to continue to go down, this is by Main Street. But we'll check out another brand new building. And this building that we're going to go to now has a really unique coffee shop inside the apartment too. These murals kind of remind me of Wynwood, Miami a little bit. This looks like an older apartment. What does this say? Modera. Modera, New Rochelle. Let me give you one more look back at 1 Clinton and 2 Clinton. But it says Modera New Rochelle is a luxury apartment complex at 111 Center Street, offering studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units, including den and live work options, or live work options, excuse me. With high-end finishes and smart home technology, it features expansive amenities like a rooftop pool, fitness center, and co-working spaces. That's incredible. Let's see some of the photos, if we can. So it looks like that's the pool. And these are inside some of the apartments, the patio. And there's a pretty good coffee shop inside of the building. It's not as tall as the others, but I kind of like it. It's more low-rise. It says Cafetero. There's also a cafeteria right at the New Rochelle train station. Really nice. They have really good coffee in there too. This strip mall that you see in front of us, I believe, is set to be bought out. And there's going to be yet another apartment complex built. Let's head back over towards Huguenot Street. And we'll see even more new builds.
In my head, I'm thinking like walking there and back. It's cardio. It is. I don't have to do it while
I believe this one that you're looking at right in front of us is called the Arc. And this is looking northbound on Main Street again, up by the Stella. Notice lots of Peruvian and Colombian restaurants all up and down the street. We'll cross over to the right on Maple Avenue, and this should be by the gas station. Now, another thing I noticed as I was kind of doing my research for this story is that a lot of the developers are offering just stunning incentives. Many of the buildings are offering upwards of 3 months free rent on a 24-month lease, which is really unheard of. This looks like another brand new development, 25 Maple. Again, as we wait to cross, you'll be able to see kind of the out with the old and in with the new. That's the bus that'll take you to Portchester. Now, just 2 towns northbound from us are some of the wealthiest communities in the United States, particularly Larchmont, New York, which is the town, 1 town north of us. And then, of course, if you continue to push north, you'll hit Rye and Rybrook, New York, which are also extremely wealthy communities. Here's the gas station, then I'll show you a few more brand new developments. You see another brand new development here. Again, with this theme of the coffee shops inside of each apartment building. Casa Roma is this coffee shop inside the building. Again, all brand new construction. And this one is also brand new. I have to do a little bit of research on what this one is. But this is Huguenot Street and Columbus Avenue. I was looking online, depending on the floor that you're on, you have these unbelievable views of the entire skyline of Manhattan. So for example, in these apartments, with the big floor-to-ceiling glass windows, see striking views of the city. This is 360 Huguenot. It doesn't look like they've yet to find a tenant for the retail space, but as you can see from the renderings, that's the view of the Long Island Sound. It says studios and 2 bedrooms leasing. You have the garage here that's operated by MP MPG Parking. I actually do a lot of business with MPG Parking. They're a big valet parking operator in New York City. So it looks like they manage the parking for 360 Huguenot. And then you have this brand new hair salon in the retail. And here we have yet another brand new building on the corner of Huguenot and 7th Street. And that's an example of what everything used to look like. Let's see what this building says. Looks like you have the valet entrance or the garage entrance right here. This is 333. And then the next building over, it says Encore. And here's an example of the old buildings in New Rochelle. And then yet another brand new building right behind it. And you guessed it, another brand new building called the Arc right here. And now as we continue to head back towards the train station, we're going to run into, I would say, the newest new development here. You can see them actually pouring the concrete for the sidewalk as we speak. So this will be the sidewalk, the main entrance for the residences. And then those are the residential units up top. I mean, what progress. We're essentially watching this city be built in real time. And this is what's possible when you have competent leadership. You get improved quality of life. You get improved quality of the product, right? So higher living standards. I mean, wouldn't people much rather live in something like this? Clean, well managed. You know, managed by an actual REIT that's not gonna let the properties fall into disrepair. This looks like an Italian restaurant here. The main entrance, restaurant and lounge. And dead centered in our screen is the Trump Tower that we were looking at when we first started the video. But this is my favorite coffee shop in all New Rochelle, just off to the right. This spot right here.
All those doctors are from White Plains Hospital. All those
This residential unit is called the Skyline. But let me know what you guys think. Are you impressed with what they were able to do here in New Rochelle? Essentially turning around a city, bringing about more product on the market, reducing costs for consumers, improving the quality of life for all, being one of the most affordable suburbs outside of New York City. With some of the best product. I'll just do one more pan around. You see the Skyline really growing. This is kind of the route we took. That was the Clinton developments. And then that's over by 333 and Encore. And this is back at the main train station. I'm also going to be doing a walking tour of many of the other stops along the Metro North. Next up will be Larchmont, then followed by Mamaroneck. Then we'll go up to Rybrook, and we'll explore Connecticut, Greenwich, and Stamford. You could even see a lot of people getting off the train coming in from Manhattan. It's so easy. And I'm sure in just a few years, this will be all built out. So if you guys enjoyed that walking tour in New Rochelle, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, we'll see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching.